Hello, students. This is JC Benoy, your teacher. I'm here to share a very beautiful story today, and I hope you will, at the end of this story, find it inspiring and you might be able to apply those lessons to your life too. Now, one day, this teacher walks into the class and he is holding this teacher has this whole huge jar in her hand. And she comes and asks the students that, you can see this jar in my hand. And she had kept some rocks on the table and she asks them, how many rocks do you think I can fit into this jar? Many students very eagerly think, come on, this is something different that we're going to do today. So they start eagerly giving suggestions that maybe she could put in 10, put probably 5 rocks, or maybe 7. The teacher is very happy with the answers and she says, okay, let's find out. And she starts putting the rocks one by one into the jar. Gradually, the jar becomes full. And she asks, now, the students, she asks them, is the jar full now? The students say, yes, yes, it's full. Then she says, do you think, can I put any more rocks in? She says, the students reply, no, because obviously the jar is full, we cannot put any more rocks. Then the teacher says, all right. And she, from beneath her desk, she pulls out a bucket, a vessel full of small gravel. These gravel, small pebbles. All right. Now, what happens to when she starts putting the pebbles into the jar, what happens? The pebbles slowly go and fill in all those gaps that are there between the rock and the jar. All right. And so the pebbles are able to fill those empty spaces. Then the teacher once again asks, now, students, tell me, do you think that the jar is full? And some students say, yes, of course the jar is full. And some people say, no, maybe it is full, but maybe it is not full. The teacher says, all right, don't worry, don't, bother so much about it. Let's see. She now removes a sack of sand, a small sack of sand, a small bag of sand, and she starts pouring the sand into the jar. And obviously the sand is more finer, more finer, so it starts filling the jar in all those empty spaces that are there between the gravel and the rocks. So then now the sand keeps filling into the jar. Now the teacher asks once again, now, my dear students, tell me, do you think that the jar is full now? Now the students know that the teacher is, tricking them. So then they say, no, the jar is not full, because they think, the teacher has something else behind the question. So they have become wiser, and they say, no, it is not full. Then the teacher says, oh, okay, very good. And she now brings out a jug full of water from beneath her table, and she starts pouring the water into the bottle, into the jar, till the jar water starts overflowing. Now she says, now, my dear students, tell me, do you think the jar is full? The students say, yes, yes, there is absolutely no place for the water to go into now, into the jar. So obviously the jar is full. The jar is full of big pebbles, big rocks, then the sand, and finally the water. So there is possibly no more place for anything more to fit in. Then then the teacher says, very clever, very good. Now the students have understood that they have filled the jar with as much as possible. They have filled it with completely. All right. Then the teacher says, yes, the correct. You all are correct. The jar is full. Then the teacher says, what did you learn from this experiment that I have just conducted in class? Then somebody in the class says, ma'am, it seems that we are always complaining about time. So that means that no, it's not like that. We always have space to fill in more activities, or more, we can do more things in our daily schedule. Then the teacher says, that is possible, but that is just overfilling yourself doing many things which may not be important. So what the teacher is trying to say is that this jar represents your life. So what does this jar represent? It stands for your life. And what is important, what did she fill in first in the jar? She filled in the rocks. So the rocks represent the important things in our life. What are the important things in your life? For me, it is my family, my friends, all right, my hobbies. So, all these things are more important for me in my life. What about you? Is your family important to you? Your family, your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your friends, all right, and your hobbies possibly, these are the things that are important for us, correct? So what does the jar show? The jar stands for our life, and the rocks are the important things in our life. What would have happened if we had placed the rocks last in the jar? Would so many rocks fit into the jar? No. So that means that we need to fill our life with what is important. What is important for us and what will bring happiness and joy in our life. Without these big rocks that are there in our life, the rocks here represent are the important things and values in our life. It could be anything. It could be your family, it could be your job, it could be your studies, it could be your hobbies, it could be your house. So all these things are more important to you. If these are not important, if your family is not important, and if you have just filled your life with little tiny issues like the rocks and the pebble and the sand and the water, you have just stuffed your life with unnecessary things, all right? They should be actually the fillers in your life. What are those fillers? It could be your it could be doing things like watching television, or doing surfing the net. Those are the fillers in your life. They are not important. So you shouldn't feel bad if you are not able to watch TV, or you're not able to go out. Okay, you're not able to do things. Those are not very important things. What are the important things of your life? The big things of your life. The big things in your life are your family, your health, your mental health, your physical health, the health of your family. And these are the things which you need the most, and you need to be able to support each other. So you need to remember to keep these things as important in your life, and then you can fill it with the tiny gravel and the water and the sand. That is your other things that you do. Your life doesn't end if you're not able to follow a hobby. No, life doesn't end there. What is more important? Your family, your values, your sibling, your friends, yes. But will you sacrifice your family for your friends? So these are important questions, and these are the important questions that you need to think of. So next time when you have an argument at home, or when you are feeling low in your life and you're not able to go out, maybe because of the COVID-19 situation, or you're not able to do things that you think are important, you're not able to go for your sports activities now, you're not able to follow some hobbies that you would like to do because you're stuck at home, that's okay. What do you need to focus on? You need to focus on the more important things in your life. All the other things are just fillers. Fillers, what do fillers mean? It means the things that are just filling the gaps in your life. Okay, the empty spaces in your life can be filled with such activities. But what should be the more important thing in your life? Your family, your parents, your grandparents, your relatives, your siblings. All right, these are the important things in your life, and you need to take care of them and your health so that you can lead a very happy and successful life. So that is my story for today. I hope you all are able to understand what I'm trying to say. So this jar is actually a metaphor, and that metaphor stands for your life, your family, your health, your well-being. And if you have all these important aspects of your life in proper place, you will definitely lead a wonderful and successful life. So hope you all have a wonderful day ahead. I'll stop here now. Thank you.